Welcome everybody. We have a distinguished panelists already online with us, and we have a number of participants. More than 45 are already logged in, and we hope to get much more. Just by way of welcome, I would like to say that the CIC, the Chennai International Center, founded in 2016, has been conceived with an objective of creating an intellectual hub for the city's intelligentsia to meet, share, discuss, and evolve transformational ideas. CIC aspires to be a spa, the mind and soul. With close to 300 members, the center regularly invites accomplished Indian and global personalities to share experiences and vision in their respective areas of expertise. The center has a diverse and strong membership of professionals, entrepreneurs, academicians, environmentalists, administrators, media persons, and historians who are dedicated towards contributing to shaping the economic, social, and political gradient of our country. Since its inception in 2016, the CIC has hosted 132 events. This is the 133rd event. Welcome all to this event, which is titled Passion, Pride, Profession, Whither Indian Cricket. The panel discussion aims to cover the myriad shades of Indian cricket as it transforms from the gentleman's game of the Raj to the passionate religion of Indian sports lovers and now a high-stakes professional sport of international standards. The distinguished panelists include Srikanth and Shri N. Srinivasan, who will be in conversation with Mr. Bharat Raman. So welcome to this event. Before we start, I request Mr. Anand, our board member, to introduce the panel and the panelists. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chandramouli, and I welcome Dr. Chandramouli in welcoming you all to this 133rd event of the CIC. In fact, this is the third event relating to cricket in our journey in the last 4 years. We had one involving Glenn McGrath about 3 years back. We also had a very granular discussion last year after the Gaba victory. And this is the third in the series of cricket discussions. And we could not have aspired for a better panelists than Mr. Srikanth and Mr. N. Srinivasan in conversation with Mr. Bharat Raman. I don't want to labor too much on the introduction because all three of them are very well known. Mr. N. Srinivasan, the only way to introduce him is to say that he has physically and literally cemented the game of cricket in every nook and corner of this country. That has been his qualitative and quantitative contribution to the game of cricket in this country. So welcome, sir. Mr. Bharat Raman is the moderator. He actually is a cricketer in his earlier years, decided to be a lawyer. Had he pursued cricket, probably the legal profession would not have had him as a senior advocate. In the 1970s and 1980s, he actually defined T20 in his own way by playing test cricket in a T20 format itself. So therefore, he originated various aspects of the game, whether it's 50 over or T20 in his own brand of cricket. He enjoyed the game to the T, and that is why the title itself is Pride, Passion, and Profession. So without much ado, I would like to hand over now the proceedings to the moderator, Mr. Bharat Raman, who will take over this subject with these two gentlemen, Mr. Srikanth and Mr. N. Srinivasan. Over to Bharat Raman.
Thank you, Anand. Good evening, friends. Welcome to this evening's discussion organized by the Chennai International Center. Anand has been very kind to say that the legal fraternity would have lost a lawyer, but India could have got an opener. I'm afraid he overestimated my talents in the game. I myself did a little introspection way back in the 80s. I knew which is my bread and butter and jam. And I think I chose the right one because even at that time when I was playing, the leader in the Indian firmament on cricket starting as an opener from Chennai was my schoolmate and my dear friend Chika himself. We played together right through that period. As far as the panelists for this evening are concerned, I do need to say a few words more than what Anand had mentioned to put the viewers in the context of who are addressing them. Of course, everybody knows the two of them, but just a few words from me. Mr. Srinivasan, the head of India Cements Limited, has the privilege and pleasure of heading a company which has been sponsoring cricketers for more than 50 years, long before it was fashionable to do so. India Cements was one of the first companies post-independence to become a public limited company with a public offer of 1 crore way back in the 1940s. But in the context of cricket, they have sponsored cricketers from the 1960s and 70s, heading right up to today. And it was entirely under Mr. Srinivasan's command that it took place. And today, India Cements has got about 45 cricketers on their payrolls, manages 15 cricket teams with over 400 players from across the city and the districts. The emphasis being the districts because that is Mr. Srinivasan's heart. He went on, apart from being the president of TNCA, to become the president of BCCI, the treasurer, secretary, then president, and then, of course, the first Indian elected chairman of the ICC, taking the foreigners at their venue. What he has done in the course of his administration, we will get to hear from his own mouth. But the only thing I need to say is, last month when we had a felicitation function for Chennai Super Kings victory, Kapil Dev Nikanj, our effervescent Indian all-rounder and icon, said, "Mr. Srinivasan, where were you when we were all playing?" I think that sums it up. As far as Chika is concerned, of course, the flamboyant, flashy opening batsman from Chennai, he and I, as it prefaced, go back from school cricket days. But Chika was the second in Tamilian to head Indian cricket after Venkatraghavan, and went on to become the chairman of the selection committee when Mr. Srinivasan was the secretary, and selected a World Cup beating team. And today, Chika is one of the most sought after commentators in the vernacular. In fact, so many of my friends tell me that when the IPL is on, they watch the visuals on HT1, but tune on to Star Tamil to hear Chika's Tamil commentary, because he brought to the mic what he brought to the cricket crease: unorthodoxy, spontaneity, and entertainment. Welcome, Chika. Welcome, NS, sir. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you, Abba, for your kind words.
The topic we have had this evening is passion, pride, and profession with Indian cricket. Although cricket started in the Raj, and the first documented presence of cricket in India is supposed to be 1792, but I don't think we've got either the time or the energy to go back that long. So for convenience, I have sort of trifurcated the Indian cricket since independence to say that the late 40s, 50s, and 60s represent the period of passion, where there was nothing more than that for the players and the administrators. Then we come to the 70s and 80s, where the pride, where we started tasting victories in various forms. And then came the 90s, when the profession of cricket set in. The reasons for the 90s will be elaborated as Mr. Srinivasan and Chika take you through the periods. But let me start with the time when cricket was played for passion. I request Srinivasan sir to share his experiences for the cricket of 50s and 60s and what it was even from the administrative side. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Bharat. Very kind words. The first part, namely the 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s, we had there were 5 permanent test centers in India. No other form of cricket was known. Only test cricket was known. We eagerly awaited the annual Pongal test match in Chennai. We went to the ground knowing that we will lose. The thought of winning never occurred in our minds. The thought of doing well never occurred. We only went to see good players play. We went to see good cricket being played. I remember going, when Neil Harvey came, when O'Neill came, the whole context was different. It was not competitive. When Gary Sobers came here, it was a given that we will lose. But every cricket aficionado went to the game, waited overnight outside the stadium to get inside in the morning to see the great players of those days play cricket. I mean, that was the passion, that really truly passion, because without passion, I mean, that M stand, you had to say, the crowd was such that you had to literally go there the previous night. Passion at its height, to see the great players of yesteryear come to play. That was a surcharged atmosphere. We did not have the conveniences of today. We did not have television. We did not have replays. But everyone who went there would describe every shot of their hero. That was a different. It was a different period. It was. But the beauty is, we never thought we will win. We never went with the thought of winning. That epitomizes the passion of those days.
Yes. Chika, maybe it was a little beyond before our period, but you must definitely have something to say about how cricket was being played by the cricketers in the 50s and 60s. You must have had your...
To add on to Mr. What Srinivasan said, dear viewers, I tell you something very rightly, he put it very rightly. We all used to go. I mean, for the Pongal, I remember those days used to be the temporary stands also. I'm sure Srinivasan sir will agree with me. Remember, sir, those days, the A stand was a temporary stand. Now it's a different stand. The so-called A stand, which is the next to the pavilion, right of pavilion nowadays. I mean, it used to be the A stand, and it used to be temporary stands. And the whole thing used to be thatched roof. And I remember going to first test match in my life in 1966, the Sir Garfield Sobers team, which is what I think Srinivasan was talking about, if I'm right. And maybe Sobers came before that. I saw the first test match ever in my life in 1966, and probably I was 7 years old. And it was only the passion that drove us. It is the passion that took us to the match. What he said is very right. It's about the passion. I mean, dear viewers, one thing in life, if you want to be great achievers in life, you'll have to do everything with passion. I believe that passion was one which drove people like, for me, my childhood hero, Gundappa Vishwanath, or Viv Richards, or those Dennis Lilly. Everybody played for passion. And if, I'm not trying to just, I just don't want to just say it for the sake of saying, adding on to what Harbour said. For example, if it's like N. Srinivasan and India Cements, they have been sponsoring cricket for the last 50 years out of passion. Don't forget those good old days. Only few companies sponsored cricket. The cricketers survived because of that. A lot of big cricketers that played for India Cements. The team that those days were known as Jolly Rovers, and now Vijay CC and multiple teams. And because of the passion of that point, I have played for India Cements post my retirement. I've gone to playing Moinudra Cup and other cups out of passion. See, the passion is what drove all of us as cricketers. I mean, I still remember, sir, I'm sure N. Srinivasan sir will agree with me, Harbour and R.K. Raghavan there, and there's probably many viewers. I remember the 1971 series when India won the first time ever in West Indies. In the good old days, we used to have something called the transistor, burr, 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 the noise. And by the time you tune into the frequency, and you used to get, and the winning runs, we used to hear in the commentary, remember? And always the winning runs used to be scored by Abid Ali, very strangely. So, with the transistor with the head, with the ears next to the ears, and say, hey, India winning. Hey, Gavaskar, century, 774 runs. We don't know what. And best part is, those 774 runs, I can visualize. We never had television like what Mr. N. Srinivasan said. So everything is driven by passion. Even today, if N. Srinivasan is sponsoring, if they started Chennai Super Kings, it was started out of passion, not out of profession. Passion ultimately becomes a profession, maybe.
Correct. We are heading there. We are heading there right now in the topic.
I'm talking about the 70s. Which the first time I ever saw Test cricket was 66 Harbour. That's why.
That's right. So, in fact, Test cricket, the passion of Indian cricket under Mansur Ali Khan Pataudi went into the late 60s, including the famous Australia Test match here, which they managed to draw. But then came the spin quartet and the captaincy of India under Ajit Wadekar. Chika just took the words out of my mouth. 1971 tour of England, and then the famous tour of West Indies, where Sunil Gavaskar was born, and then comes the position of Indian cricket where you played with pride, because there was a chance you may still be winning. We will be leading up from the Ajit Wadekar's team right into Kapil Dev's team in 1983, which won the World Cup, where our own Srikanth was the top scorer. So let's talk about the cricket in the 70s now. We are now talking about what Srinivasan said earlier, that we'll go to watch because we know we may not win. But then 70s changed that perspective. We thought we may win occasionally. Srinivasan sir, your own recollections of the spin quartet and Ajit Wadekar winning us in England and in West Indies, the invincible West Indies team. Over to you,
Actually, our mindset changed from being a no-hope, losing team at every time. Suddenly we said, we can win. We had in Sunil Gavaskar, what did he do? He changed the face of Indian cricket by saying, I can play fast bowling. And behind him came a horde of people. Srikanth, if Sunil Gavaskar said, I can play fast bowling, Chris Srikanth said, I can whack it. and he,
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks for kind words, sir.
You
Thanks,
see,
sir.
that Benson and Hedges cricket, which was held in Australia, which we won. Gavaskar that's when Gavaskar announced his retirement. But that and Audi Shastri came into being.
That's right.
Ravi Shastri. See, that entire, I remember every match that I watched early morning to watch the matches. But what was clear was this was a determined Indian team. Every one of them, if you look at the quality of the cricket, that is a quantum jump had happened. Everyone who was present, including our own LS, everybody displayed a quality of cricket that was much, much higher than had been seen in the earlier generations. That is what made the difference. And they wanted to win. They did not want to just go and come. I still remember the final when Chris Srikanth played and when Imran Khan was a bowler. See, India the scoring rate may have been a little lower than today, but so was the equipment, etc. But that fierce determination to win was there. That made the difference. The 70s and carried on into 80s and are winning the World Cup. I still remember. See, I have very fond memories of Srikanth scoring those 38 runs. He scored 38. He was a top scorer of the Indian team.
Thank you, sir.
But
Thank you.
He was cutting the ball from his nose. The ball was it was not like the ball was flying, but for the first time the Indian was cutting the ball to the boundary from over his nose. It was a period of transition from being a docile loser to becoming an aggressive, and immediately after that, we went to Sharjah, where we beat Pakistan, and Sunil Gavaskar took four catches or something. All these are memories. See, these are memories that are etched in our mind. See, we did not have the kind of television that you have today. You did not have the kind of commentaries that you have. But I still remember Bill Lawry, when he was calling, he called Srikanth, he says, good. He's a dasher. He's coming. Runs will flow.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes. In fact, the voices were those of Christopher Martin Jenkins and Trevor Bailey when the West Indies India finals was being AIR commentary was being broadcast to us. And Chika, you are there. Can you take us a little back in time to the 70s when the spin quartet came and changed India's winning combination? Go into Kapil Dev and then go with the World Cup.
See, adding on to what Mr. N. Srinivasan said, your viewers, one thing is Gavaskar showed the world, guys, we can play fast bowling. There are two guys, Gavaskar and his brother-in-law, Gundappa Vishwanath. These two guys are extraordinary. And just with these two guys in batting, and of course the great spin quartet, Chandra, Venkatragavan from our own place, then we had Prasanna and Bedi, we started slowly dominating the world across the globe. I mean, we have beaten West Indies, beaten England, beaten India, wherever it is. And that was a crucial phase. Let's talk about the early 70s to the late 70s. And late 70s, the greatest thing that happened in Indian cricket, apart from the spin quartet, is the guy called Kapil Dev. Very strangely, two of the greatest cricketers the world has ever produced, where they made their debut in Pakistan. One was Kapil Dev in 1978. The other was Sachin Tendulkar in 1989. Both of them made their debuts in Pakistan, and they became one of the greatest, the greatest legends of cricket, across the globe. And thanks to now with Gavaskar, Gundappa Vishwanath, spin quartet, then with Kapil Dev, suddenly the whole dynamics changed. Kapil Dev was a guy who was absolutely a passion. Passion drove him completely. And for Kapil Dev, it was passion, self-belief, and only positive approach. He said, man, we can beat anybody. And that is how the journey started from late 70s up to the 83 World Cup, when in 83 World Cup, rest of the history, as everybody says. Mr. N. Srinivasan touched on that point. And it was one man's self-belief. All of us thought we were going for a holiday. Man, go watch the World Cup, have good fun, go to US. But then our captain Kapil Dev had different ideas. Imagine, guys, I've told this story a number of times. The previous two World Cups in 1975 and 79, India had managed to beat only one team called the East Africa. There's no team called East Africa. It's a bunch of bujus put together and they just played. There's nothing called East Africa. They were from all the Baiba Patels and Baiba Shahs and all. They put it there, come on, let's play the team. And that's the only team we beat. We lost even Sri Lanka, which is not a test playing nation, in 79. But the man Kapil Dev said, man, we can beat the mighty West Indies. And that is when, from passion, the self-belief, and the pride, the question of pride came into picture. And Kapil Dev was one who drove us there.
And the World Cup victory, of course, made a huge difference.
Talking of that World Cup, the greatest innings played by Kapil Dev, he scored 175 against Zimbabwe. That was not televised at all. That is not recorded anywhere. But if we had not beaten them, we would not have come to the final.
Correct.
It's a great innings. I'm sure Srikanth remembers it.
Yeah. In fact, Srikanth,
I think adding on to what NS sir has said, we call him fondly NS sir. See, 17 for 5, 18 for 6, a captain goes and still says, man, we can do it. And he goes, hits shots at will. Sixes and fours, a galore, one in raining sixes. Imagine, man, in the good old days, 175, not out. I can't even think about it. With Rajamini, Madanlal, and just Kirmani as partners. One man show. Amazing. Yes, this is the replica of the 1983 World Cup for information, which I always have it here. So this is the replica actually, right? Because these are one of those small stories I can tell my granddaughter. That these stories I have to tell my granddaughter. But then it is a pride took over from that time. That in this topic today, from passion plus pride took over in that period, Harbour. And NS sir has already spoken about the 85 World Championship cricket in Australia.
Chika, just a quick aside on the question of the 175 not out with Mr. Srinivasan mentioned about. Could you share with our audience the incident which you long back told me about how you are not allowed to move out of the place?
I know, I did not. I told him for more than one reason.
Wait, in fact, you won't believe when we are watching, see the superstition, dear viewers, you have to understand one thing. Cricketers, I don't know about the businessmen, I guess you're also superstitious, but cricketers, cricket administrators, I remember in the form, I mean, when I used to be a part of CSK, which I'm requesting NS sir to take me back in the team. I've requested NS sir to take me back in the CSK team again. I remember the early days, the first few years we used to go. And when I said, sir, now don't move anywhere. He used to tell me, NS sir used to tell me on CSK matches, don't move in, you stay there only. Because I remember when we won the first match, when I remember the very first opening match in CSK, when what's his name? Lieutenant, what's his name? Yeah, I mean, sir, there's Punjab or century channel, sir. Number opening match of CSK is the first match ever in 2008. Even
first match full of Michael Hussey.
Mike Hussey. Sorry. In this excitement, I lost his name. I remember I was standing. NSR said, "Hey, now you just keep standing and watch the entire match." So that is the superstition. So adding on Harbour, dear viewers, I am Madras wala. Madras, there are 3 weathers only: hot, hotter, hottest. My wife at least is from Delhi. She knew what cold weather is. So she thought my husband is going to score a brilliant century. She came to watch the match. Unfortunately, husband got her for 0. Then so she was not allowed inside the dressing room side. So I was standing outside and watching. And the cold breeze was blowing. I was telling Malik, sir, I'm not able to stand. Please let me inside. So cold. He said, you freeze to death. I don't care. Then after some point, when they started scoring well, Kapil scored 50, 75. I really wanted to go to the restroom. He said, I don't care a damn. You're not moving anywhere. You do whatever you want to do in your pants. I don't care. So that is a superstition. Entire 175 Nardot, I had to stand leaning against the wall with my wife Vidya next to me against cold breeze and me literally freezing. That is superstition and pride, dear viewers, for you. Passion, superstition, pride, whatever you call it.
Thank you, Chika. Thank you. That's a lovely incident from Trent Bridge. Trent Bridge was the name of the place, right?
No, Tonbridge Wells.
Tonbridge Wells, that's right.
Tonbridge Wells.
Yeah. So then came this 1983 World Cup victory. I have a different take about it. People always say it changed Indian cricket. Indian view of Indian cricket, I think it's actually the other way around. Then whether we got all out for 36 not all out, or whether we, failed miserably in overseas crickets, etc., our commitment and our public's craze for the game never wavered. So the World Cup victory did not change the way Indians viewed cricket. It only changed the way the Indians viewed the cricketers and how the world started viewing Indian cricket from that point of view. From that day, world said, okay, there is this other country which is capable of being a world beater. And that led to, as Srinivasan sir pointed out, the Benson and Hedges Trophy in Australia, Ravi Shastri coming in, and then comes the 1990s, which is when profession of cricket set in. Why I mentioned 1990s was because it was not even 1990, according to me. Truly, professionalism in Indian cricket set in 1995. To be precise, on 9th of February 1995, when the Supreme Court of India, yes, now I'm getting into my line of business, a 3-judge bench presided by Justice Sawant, Justice Mohan, and Justice Jeevan Reddy gave a landmark judgment on copyright law and broadcasting law on events. And in the case of Union of India versus Cricket Association of Bengal, they ruled for the first time that the organizer of the sporting event has the right to independently telecast it apart from Doordarshan. And that brought in what we all call media rights. And as Mr. Srinivasan will be elaborating to us, it is only when the organizing body starts seeing money that money goes to the players as well. And then with that media rights getting owned by BCCI, it became a different cup of tea. And now I give it to Mr. Srinivasan to tell us how professionalism got in the 90s, how BCCI helped it in every way it could. Over to you, sir.
Even you see, there are 2-3 phases of television. In the early stages, see, one must understand that Indians are passionate about cricket. They advertise on cricket. They want to see their team win. So most of the money, even from the beginning, comes from India. The last World Cup, 80% of the money came from India. I only asked for 10 to 15% of it. I got it, but Shashank Manohar threw it away. As a result, even today, we are underpaid. The original agreement was different. In fact, I remember telling the ICC at one point, I said, fine, all of you play amongst yourselves. We won't play. You will not even able to pay your salary. I mean, I have used such words at ICC. But in the beginning, it was like I come to Kenya, I come to X. Wherever the Indian team went, the money was there. So India was a favorite invitee. I mean, even today, if India says, I will not go to Australia, Australia will lose a huge amount of money. Media rights have become so strong, so powerful today. And India is the champion. See, what is transformed is not only do the fans, the people follow Indian cricket. Indian cricket has a success, roll call of heroes. It's not one hero goes, the next one comes. If MS Dhoni goes, Virat Kohli comes. So as a result of which, the whole world looks first for the Indian cricketer. The Indian diaspora are spread across the world. Wherever you go, there is India, and there is huge amount of money. And with television expanding, television becoming more expert, they are able to tap into the. So it's a paradigm shift has taken place. So today, India's power truly is so powerful. India is so powerful. If India says, I will not come to play in England or someplace, they will come here, running here, please come. The gone are the days we had to give guarantee money for a foreign team to come to play in India. India calls the shots. And that is only there for 2 reasons. One is the Indian team is good. I was very disappointed that we lost to South Africa.
Last night.
I was really disappointed at one of those heartbroken fellows. But the Indian team as a whole, look at the success of IPL. Why did IPL succeed? It has brought a new audience into the game. Women and children are swarming all over the IPL.
I'll be coming back to IPL in a bit, sir. I'll be coming back to IPL in a bit. I'll come to IPL because you've got lots to talk about it when we come to IPL. Shika, your take on how the media rights and the money coming into the coffers of the BCCI, how it changed the professionalism in the cricketer. I'm not talking about the viewers and everybody else.
See, definitely, I think adding on to what Mr. Srinivasan said very rightly, see, today, without the media rights made a huge difference. And today, what has happened is, thanks to media, cricket has started reaching all the small towns and cities and even villages. And see, today, if you notice, dear viewers, now this is the actual India now. India, what? What is India? India consists of, we are all South Indians, we are Tamilians, we are Kannadigas, Bangaloreans, Malayalis, Telugu, Marathis, Punjabis, Bengalis. But cricket is the only thing which combines everything. It's only one religion that's called cricket. When it's cricket, it's cricket. That is our India, the modern day India is India. How is it that we combine as a team? Win the World Cup in 1983, with some people with different languages, different cultures, different religious beliefs, different food habits, combined together, but as one country in India, and win the World Cup in 83 or 85, later on in 2011, and now we rule the entire cricketing world. As Mr. Srinivasan said, we rule the cricketing world. How? That is today's India from a business angle or from CIC members, since you're all from big business houses. This is India for you. What has happened? Thanks to television, the small towns have started producing fantastic cricketers. Bumrah comes from a small town cricketer. Irfan Pathan, Yusuf Pathan, Suresh Raina, MS Dhoni, man. Nobody would have. MS Dhoni has put the place called Ranchi in the world map now. Nobody would have known where this Ranchi is otherwise. MS Dhoni, he comes from a small town called Ranchi. So all these small town boys, all these small town cricketers, all these small towns have become huge legends in the world cricket. I'm sure NSR will add on to it. All these small town boys, whether it's Raina or Dhoni or Yusuf Pathan, Bumrah today, Bhunesh Kumar. So even KL Rahul comes from Mangalore, if I'm right, originally, not from Bangalore. He comes from Mangalore. So that is India today. If you look at the Indian business angle, the market is in the rural areas, the small tier 2, tier 3 cities, apart from the metros. So thanks to media rights, thanks to television, thanks to BCCI organizing the media rights brilliantly, cricket has reached every nook and corner of India, and we are able to produce cricketers from those small centers, and it has become a big business. Cricket is the only win-win business in India. Everybody wins. Administrators win, players win, sponsors win, television channels win. Everybody wins. The sponsors are happy because there are millions of users watching. That's what they want, and the money comes from them. So cricket is the only business or a game, whatever you call it, where everybody wins. It's a win-win situation for everybody.
That's right, Chika. In fact, your take on the outreach of cricket and how people from across Mofussil areas got into cricket in a big way.
Sir, NSR, I think you missed it when I said, sir. So I repeat it for your sake and for the viewers again. A guy called, small town boy called MS Dhoni, who was a small ticket collector in a place called Ranchi, has put Ranchi in the world map. Dhoni. That is what television and cricket has done, sir. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely, Shika. So this thing about reach from the Mofussil areas is something which is best epitomized by the fact that even yesterday's playing 11 of India, you will find only 2 or 3 from the actual 4 metros, which used to dominate in the past, with, of course, Karnataka, 5. They were dominating Hyderabad, 6. These are the people who are contributing cricketers. Yesterday's playing 11, you will find people from across Saurashtra, Baroda, everywhere. They're all contributing. And even the recent victories in the Ranji Trophy shows how people who were never winners in the past. Earlier, it used to be Bombay has won Ranji Trophy 25-30 times. Bengal has won it so many times, etc. But no, it's not like that. The reach is wide, and that is where the professionalism of cricket, the profession of cricket for a person who takes up the game at a young age has reached. And that brings us to what possibly was the springboard, which has thereafter catapulted Indian cricket's profession of cricket into a sky-high level that, again, Mr. Srinivasan will have to talk to us about the brilliant decision taken in 2007 by the Board of Control for Cricket in India to launch a tournament called the Indian Premier League. Over to you, sir.
Yes, talk about it. I'll talk about something better. See, in India, India had lost, and Rahul Dravid had a letter in his hand. I said, "Don't give it to me. I won't take it." But he still went and gave it to Mr. Pawar, who is the president of the board. That was his letter of resignation. Then immediately Pawar and Professor Shetty, the Bombay, they called Sachin Tendulkar and offered the captaincy to him. He said, "No, I don't want to be." Then what shall we do? Then he looks around the room. I'm standing next, I had a ringside seat of this. Standing next to him, he sees one fellow with the long hair. He said, "Make him." That is MS Dhoni. He won the World Cup, and the rest is history. See, what the even today, for example, we have the Tamil Nadu Premier League. 13 boys have gone from there to the IPL. They have gone to play for India. That is a testament to the small time, to the boy from the districts, the boy from the Mufasal, who has got sufficient talent to go right all the way up to the top. And it will increase. See, the passion, you see, we have cricket. Cricket is not confined to cities. Cricket has borders, have been the whole of India. Everywhere you can find outstanding players. Where did Varun Chakravarti come from? He was the only one retained by Calcutta Knight Riders. So talent is enormous. And today, just like in the West, before the IPL, all the talent scouts from all the IPL teams, they go around the country, they watch all matches, they spot good players. That is how these boys are coming up. I think this is a natural progression. It will get stronger. Indian cricket will get definitely stronger and stronger and stronger because we have a fantastic pool of talent. That is what we must understand. And we are at least finally showing them the way to go forward.
Sir, did you expect IPL to reach the level it has reached in the last 13 years when you, as a board member, approved saying, let's go with the tournament and try it out in 2008?
Why did India Cement bid for
Chennai Super Kings?
Chennai, it was named Chennai Super King because I asked Srikanth to toss a ball and ask people to suggest names.
That's right.
We had hundreds of names. The maximum was for Chennai Super King. I asked the then president, Mr. Pawar, can I bid for a team? I'm a treasurer. He said, okay. He asked me why. I said, if we don't do it, whoever wins a franchise, he will overwhelm the association. Bindra said, oh, it will not happen in Punjab, it will not happen, etc. But it will happen here, sir, you allow me to. I got a letter. One is very, very, people have lost it in all the controversies. They said, yes, you are the treasurer, you are allowed to build. I have that letter in my hand. So I have a letter from the then president saying India. And why did I do it? I wanted the people of Chennai to watch an IPL match. I wasn't sure that we would win. But Chennai was one of the original 5 test playing nations. Why should we, because somebody did not bid, be deprived? When I bid $90 million for this period, 130 analysts were on the call. They asked me, they said, I've wasted money. All kinds of statements were. But I made one statement at the end. I said, gentlemen, you do not know the power of cricket. The market cap of the CSK will be bigger than that of India Cement.
And it has come true. Today.
It is, but that is, I'm on record. I said that. He says,
yes, sir.
Then why did you not buy it yourself? I said, I want all the shareholders to enjoy, not only me.
That's right. In fact, sir, today CSK CPL is allegedly on the threshold of becoming the first sports company to become a unicorn.
True.
Yes. Chika, over to you, Chika, on how you also tasted IPL. You just got into it as in a different avatar. But tell us about your experiences from 2008.
Yeah, I mean, as Enes has said, the tossing the ball was the first incident of that CSK when it all started. And I can probably say I was the first person to be selected for the Chennai Super Kings as a brand ambassador. I mean, it was thanks to Enes. Thank you, Enes, sir, for giving me the opportunity of appointing me the brand ambassador in 2008. And it's a great experience. See, dear viewers, these are all something that you can only experience it. You cannot be expressed. Let me be very honest with you. being an IPL match or being a part of IPL team and just watching the match, watching along the match along with NSR with full tension, pressure, superstition, and Dhoni hitting those. And the third year, CSK went on to win the IPL trophy. And see, in the second year, it went on to South Africa. You should see the passion in South Africa. Again, it is all passion driven. You have to understand. People used to come in thousands and lakhs, and people are coming with passion. The viewership today is, it's what skyrocketed to different levels of viewership. Why? As NSR said, today you have bigger viewership. You have older women, young children watching the matches, and they are also inspired. You have to understand, it's an inspirational story for them. As he said, in the TNPL, all these small-time cricketers have made it big in IPL. So have been people from other parts of what you call the world, India, who made it very big thanks to IPL. So again, it's become a professional. So passion, pride, profession, everything combines in this IPL. There's pride for playing for CSK or winning the title for CSK or Mumbai Indians. These are two top teams in IPL. The pride of playing for CSK, the pride of playing for Mumbai Indians, pride of winning the IPL trophy, pride of playing for any IPL team, just representing an IPL team itself, a big pride for the cricketers. And they feel it's a great achievement as far as cricketers are concerned. So you should see that is what it is. The pride, the passion turns to pride and then to profession. Now again, if you see, it gives you so many opportunities, professional opportunities, so many people. You have coaches, you have physiotherapists, you have physios, you will have multiple things getting, you got to understand the side businesses attached with it, overall benefit out of this IPL.
Correct. In fact, Chika, we look on the TV are looking only at the 11 members who are playing and maybe 7 or 8 who are sitting in the dugout. But actually a full-fledged IPL unit is actually around 40-45 strong. It's actually 40-45 strong, including so many support staff and things like that. And they're all professionals. That's the beauty about it. The third limb of our talk on profession today, truly cricket is a profession which parents would not hesitate encouraging their children to go into, something which would never have happened 40-50 years back when Chika and I were in our college. If we were to tell our parents that we wanted to become professionally as cricketers, they would have laughed. Chika was an engineering student. His dad knew even if it fails in cricket, he's going to be an engineer somewhere. So that fallback is not required now. At the age of 14 and 15, they're putting people right into the game, saying, you do well, you will go on and play somewhere. Maybe you may just make it to an IPL team. And that is the thing now. So the future of Indian cricket, because that's where we are ending with our Indian cricket. Sir, Srinivasan sir, your views on future of Indian cricket, and with that we'll be winding up.
The future of Indian cricket is very strong. I am very, very, very hopeful. Indian cricket has come to a point where I give you my view. We don't need any. You take American football, it's played only in America. It's a franchise-based league. No foreign player team comes, no foreign player comes, all domestic Americans play. It is the richest, the Super Bowl is the richest television property today. Our IPL final will become like that.
Thank you, yes, sir. Srikant, your take on the future of Indian cricket?
I think what he said is right. You will have to understand one thing. Even people watching, the number of people watching yesterday's match, for example, and come IPL, you see the viewership. There'll be a totally massive difference. It'll be, totally different. So, end of the day, the IPL and the franchisee cricket is going to slowly take over. Of course, there will be test cricket. Now, there will be 3 parallel lines. There will be one thing called 2020 cricket, one-day cricket, and test cricket will go on. But then, the icing in the cake is going to be IPL for everybody. Be it a player, be it for anybody. As a player also, you want to play for the best franchisee, win the IPL Cup, because it's just not about the money matters. It's about the pride of winning, and the pride of millions and millions of viewers watching across the globe. You'll have to understand the viewership is not just Indian viewership; it's global viewership.
That's right, Chika. In fact, come February, I think we will know about the constitution of each of the 10 franchise teams which are going to come into play. So the future of Indian cricket is really strong, and I think we all agree on that. I now, with these few words, call the panel discussion to an end and request Anand to come forward. Is there going to be any Q&A, Anand, or are we?
Yeah, actually, there are a couple of questions. Maybe we can take one or two quickly, Bharat Raman, if it's okay with you.
Please.
One question.
I have to leave.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Anand.
Okay. One common question which has come about is the fatigue factor and the impact of pandemic because of world fixtures. And is that drastically affecting the quality of test cricket across the world? The latest evidence is the Ashes series, where England is just not able to cope up with 5-day cricket at all. Is it the pandemic issue, bubble issue, too much of cricket? What exactly is the problem of test cricket?
Chika, do you have your take on that?
Definitely the bubble issue is a big issue. You have to understand, man. Come on, it's very difficult. Come on, the pandemic is actually, everybody suffered. And when you say you're from jumping from bubble to bubble, you can't meet people, you can't go outside, you cannot relax, you'll have to be in the same hotel, you cannot do this, you cannot do this. This bubble is very stressful. You have to understand, dear viewers. Please understand that. It's very, very stressful. I mean, I cannot go to a bubble. I said, no, if I want to do commentary, I'll do from home only. I cannot come to a bubble and do my commentary and all. So this bubble and all is very, very stressful. Right? Come on, I'm sure all the viewers also, just sitting at home. Working from home also is very stressful sometimes, right?
That's right. Absolutely. And I think, Anand, what they have done to a limited extent is that the ICC, it's got its own committee for tours and fixtures. And they are trying to give some break because the international calendar for the cricketing, the test playing nations and the ODI playing nations and the T20 playing nations is really, really tight. So when they give up something, they need to immediately compensate it somewhere else a year or two from now. And that's a continuous juggling which ICC is trying to do. But you're very right. The viewer you asked that question is bang on. I think the COVID and the confinements and the bubble and all are definitely affecting the energy levels and even the mental strength of the players. And we have to look for better times come this year.
And just one more, Bharat Raman and Srikanth. See, this whole question of reverse sweeping and switch hitting. Is it very unfair to the bowlers today? Because batsmen are doing whatever they want. It's a batsman's game after all. And is it very unfair to the bowler? Should it be permitted at all? Is the question.
See, you can permit it, but unfortunately you cannot help it. Today it's I really feel bad for the bowlers. The rules, I'm talking about limited overs cricket. The rules are too much bent towards the batsman. And you can't bowl more than one bouncer, you just a few inches away, you call it wide. And see, the reverse sweep, but nothing wrong. That is the batsman's ability. You have to understand that. You have to give to the ability of the batsman, the guts of the batsman. That is innovation. So you cannot stop innovation. You're allowed to bowl right hand and left hand. You just have to say, I'm bowling left hand, right hand. You're allowed to bowl ambidextrous if you want to. So nobody stops you from bowling with both hands. So I don't think so. But the rules can be slightly, but then what happens also is, you'll have to understand the game is moving towards, viewership also. They want more fours and sixes. You don't want a match where 120 all out and 122 for all. You want close matches. Everybody wants excitement. See, it is no more sports. It's sportainment. It's sports and entertainment together. It's sportainment.
In fact, Anand, the reverse sweep and other, unorthodox shots like that Dil scoop and all which were invented in the course of IPL. It's true that it gives a disadvantage to a bowler, but it also gives him an equal chance of getting a wicket, Chika, right? Because I'm playing a reverse sweep, you're taking a risk.
The batsman is innovating. You have an opportunity. You can get out. There's so many people you got out in reverse sweeps. You're right, Harbour.
That's right. So it's equally, it cuts both ways, Anand.
Yeah, okay. Fine. That's about all. Chandramouli, can we wind up or?
Yeah.
That was an extremely interesting discussion that we were having. Mr. Raghavan, would you like to ask any questions?
No, I have no questions, but I would like to give my impressions of the discussion. Honestly, I never expected this to be so wonderfully conceived, so wonderfully delivered. I mean, as he said, there is a global audience. I insisted that my son in London should watch it, and he's there. And so fast that traveled down memory lane, and each one of the panelists spoke so well. I was so thrilled. I think I really live longer because of this experience, because there's so many happy memories to recall. The first test match in Chepauk, 1950, 49-50, when the second Commonwealth team came. The first official test match we won was in Chennai. I was there. So ever since then, it has been a fascinating journey. And when I must compliment Chandramodi, who was recently taken over as CEO of the Chennai International Center, that he readily agreed to have a program on Indian cricket. I must compliment him for the speed of response, and I'm happy that I made this suggestion and he implemented it immediately. And it's been fascinating is the only expression I can use, because ever entertaining Srika continues to regale us, and Bharat Raman, so competent, he has handled the Tamil Nadu Cricket Association affairs. And it's a revelation that he played a lot of cricket at a very high level. So I'm very happy that this program went off so well. And I'm sure we will have many more such programs under the leadership of Chandramodi. I look forward to it. Thanks for organizing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
My sincere thanks to all the panelists, Sri Srinivasan, Chris Srikanth, and Mr. Bharat Raman. It has been a very lively discussion, and we hope to continue the series. We are back on the 4th of February with another book discussion on leadership by Pradeep Chakravarti, followed by a session on international relations, where an eminent panel will be again discussing India's relationship with Russia. So CIC continues even in this raging pandemic with its series of events. And we welcome all of you to join us in these future events too, as you have joined us today. And this recording will be on the YouTube for whoever has missed the panel discussion. We invite you to tell your friends that they could catch it on the YouTube. Thank you very much once again.
Thank
you, Anand sir,
thank
Thank you.
Doing the honors of this session.
Thank you, Srikanth.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Right,
Thank
bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Have a good time. Bye.
See you, Chika.
Bye, Srika.